All right. And we're live, Shay. Here we go.
I know. Look at us go. We're usually recording.
Who would have ever thought that we would be here right now doing this today?
I don't know if there were people that thought we'd be here today like 48 hours ago. It's crazy.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm Adam Campbell, the host of Winged Reds Weekly. Your 2025 Cincinnati Reds have clinched a playoff berth for the first time in a full non-pandemic season since 2013.
Wild.
This date, Shay, is very significant in terms of the history of this team. The Reds clinched the division title in 2010 on this date. Homer Bailey pitched a no-hitter in Pittsburgh on this date. And you know what? If September 28th and Reds Galore wasn't good enough, add this to the mix. The 2025 Cincinnati Reds clinch a playoff berth. We're heading to L.A.
And I can't believe we've made it almost 90 seconds into this, Adam, without saying what we should have said in the first 10 seconds of the show.
Go
Thank you, Miami Marlins.
The Marlins, man. Oh,
go Fish.
Okay. With that being said, though, I want to make this very clear because this is how I feel. Mm-hmm. Though we were helped out today and throughout the weekend, this team being the Reds, they did enough over the last week and a half to earn the right to have some help. I mean, you won 9 of your last 12 games. You swept the Chicago Cubs. You beat Milwaukee in a series for the first time in the last 14 series. They earned it. They earned the right to have a little bit of help this afternoon. And I don't care how they got there. They got there. And we now get to see this pitching staff in a playoff setting. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, well, and I think that, like you said, I think that because we went into today knowing that if you win, you're in no matter what happens, that today's kind of series finale in Milwaukee almost feels a little disappointing in that regard because they didn't, if they would have won, nothing else would have mattered. But like you said, they still went to Milwaukee and won 2 out of 3. That's something that not a lot of teams did this year. That Milwaukee team won 97 games. So it's not something that it's easy to do. And credit to the Reds to, kind of getting the monkey off their back. I was just as nervous as everybody else. The season was going to come down to a trip to Milwaukee. And the Reds did what they had to do. And now they're off to Los Angeles. And Adam, you know as well as I do that playoff baseball is so wonky. I mean, we could see Howie Kendrick went on a crazy postseason run in 2018. We could see Jose Trevino, Gavin Lux, Will Benson. I don't know. Somebody's going to go crazy.
Maybe if it's crazy enough, it could be Matt McClain.
What if it's Matt McClain? What if it's Matt McClain? What if it's Key Brian Hayes? What if Key Brian Hayes turns into like an MVP candidate for the next 3 weeks?
Yeah. Well, it would only be fitting that the fans of Cincinnati are able to witness in-person playoff baseball by the Reds advancing in the playoffs. So first time since 95 against none other than the Los Angeles Dodgers, the team that they will be facing off against this Tuesday night. Shay, obviously with this being out west, the Reds, their first game will be Tuesday night. First pitch, I believe, set for 9:08 p.m. So if you are a fan of Dancing with the Stars, you're gonna have to do some multitasking that night. But Tuesday night and Wednesday night are games 1 and 2. Not exactly sure when game 3 would be if necessary, but
I believe, I'm not positive, I believe the winner take all game 3s, they try to make them in the afternoon so that whoever wins can travel.
We can figure this out on the go here.
Not positive.
Let's talk about what got them to this point, though, because really it was 2 weeks ago, Shay, where I had the towel completely thrown in. This team just fell to the A's 3 straight games in Sacramento, got swept out of town. That easily could have been the series where it ended everything for them. And they weren't able to get the win today. I mean, it's great to see them clinch, but they did so after losing the game. So This offense is in serious trouble right now. They need a lot of help, but my goodness, the pitching staff paired with the Mets' total collapse is just.
And to kind of piggyback off of what you're saying, I agree with everything you said. The way that McClain and the way that Hayes and the way that Trevino and the way that some of these guys are swinging the bat right now isn't going to work in the playoffs. You have to be better. It comes down to that, plain and simple. But something that is encouraging for this offense over the last, I'd say, 2-3 weeks is two guys that really I felt like were really off for the last 2 months are on again. It's Ellie and it's Spencer Steer. Those two have been sensational down the stretch.
Yeah, and honestly, I think even TJ Friedel, he's been on base quite a bit. He's played a good – and you know what? Noelvi Marte may not be swinging the bat as hot as he once was here as of late, but, we also can't forget the fact that he made a game-saving, season-saving, potentially catch in the ninth inning today in right field.
And let's give the Reds' top hitting prospect his flowers. Sal Stewart leads this team in home runs since the day he got called up.
Yes. Oh my gosh! I just looked up. I'm watching Brent Suter hit the whip in the nay-nay. Well, this
incredible.
guy.
Man, I missed dugout whips. Jim Day and goggles and Brent Suter hitting the nay-nay. This is what it's all about.
This is it, man. Let's talk about this Dodgers series, though. The Reds have played them 6 times this season, Shay. In those 6 games, the Dodgers have come up victorious in 5 of them. The Reds were held to 15 runs in those games. They were batting 188 collectively as a unit in those 6 games. 4 of the 6, however, finished within 3 runs. So the Reds did keep it close in most of these games, but we have seen the Dodgers kind of have their way with the Reds, excluding Shohei Ohtani, of course, batting 120, 3 for 25 with 3 runs batted in 6 games against this team. If they want any chance of surviving and advancing, they will have to keep up that momentum that they have shown towards him in particular this coming week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the series in Cincinnati, the Reds were very competitive. They only won 1 out of 3, but the other 2, it was Chase Burns' second career start, and he still struck out 10. But he was going up against Yoshinobu Yamamoto that night. And then the other game, it was, I believe, a 6-4 game or a 5-4 game or something like that. So I thought the Reds competed well in Cincinnati. The series in Los Angeles, I was a little more disappointed in. They lost 7-0, lost 6-1 or 5-1. I'm sorry. But I think without trying to get too cocky, because the Los Angeles Dodgers are a very good baseball team. The Reds have been very inconsistent from the opening day. But I think this is the kind of team that the Dodgers really didn't want to play. I think a team like the Dodgers that's built with so much star power and so much just overwhelming talent would have liked to have played a team that they can just suffocate and run out of the building. And, I think the Mets, in a way, could have been that team, because I think the Mets, if you have a 4 or 5 run inning against the Mets, you can we saw it. It felt like they were very flat the last 5 innings of that game. But with the Reds and the pitching staff that they have, you're probably going to see Hunter Green in game 1 and Andrew Abbott in game 2. That's what I'm guessing. Since Lodolo pitched today, that's just my assumption. But with Connor Phillips and his emergence in the bullpen, with Emilio Pagan, rock-solid veteran reliever, Tony Santon's had a nice year. Graham Ashcraft's had a nice year. You're going to have options. You're going to be able to have Burns in the bullpen full-time. You're going to be able to have Zach Littell as a long reliever for this playoff series. So this is a pitching staff, like you alluded to, Adam, that's going to keep the Reds in close games. The Dodgers may win this series, but they're going to have to claw and scratch for it. And I think in a way, I think that's exactly the kind of team they didn't want to play.
I don't think the Brewers wanted to play a team like the Reds. I mean, let's face it. The Brewers last night clinched the number 1 seed in the National League. They truly had nothing to play for today other than keeping guys fresh and active and rolling.
They did break their franchise record for most wins in a season today.
Okay. I mean, that is cool. But, in terms of I don't know, circumstances and consequential.
For the postseason, they had nothing.
Yes, yeah, nothing. So they didn't lay over against the Reds this weekend. I mean, we saw them use Misiorowski last night. They put him in the third or fourth inning. Like, they were trying to kill us. But I heard it in the celebratory interviews here. The Reds are cockroaches. You stomp on them and you just cannot kill them. That is the motto of this team this year.
To quote the legendary Geno Smith, Adam, they wrote us off. We ain't right back,
We ain't right back, though. Oh, my goodness.
That's the problem. We ain't right back.
All right. Now that it did pan out the way that we had hoped for, Hunter Green was not needed today. Tito made the right call, marching him out there on Wednesday and then making sure that he was available to start this series against the Dodgers. Had the Reds not made the playoffs, Shay, how much criticism would Terry have taken for that decision?
I think quite a bit. I think most of people, I think I saw Charlie Goldsmith talking about it. I think most people felt like that was unanimously a poor decision to leave him out there as long as he did with the reinforcements that the Reds had today. Yep. I would have gone to Chase Burns after that third inning ended. I think it was a blessing in disguise that he got out of that inning only allowing one run. I would have gone to Chase Burns in the fourth. But obviously what's done is done. The Miami Marlins did us a big solid. Shout out Edward Cabrera. Obviously now, like I said, the assumption, nothing's been made official yet, but the assumption is game 1 on Tuesday is going to be Hunter Green against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Game 2 on Wednesday, I would presume, is going to be Andrew Abbott against Shohei Ohtani. And then if it goes to game 3, I'm guessing you'd see Lodolo for the Reds, maybe Singer, maybe Lodolo. And for the Dodgers, you'd probably see Blake Snell.
1 to 10, what are the odds Burns is maybe used as an opener? Because here's where I'm sitting. Singer today did not have it. Taking him out and replacing him with Lodolo turned out to also not be the move. Burns came in thereafter and was absolutely dealing, and I feel like he had the stuff right from the get-go, and he should have been used in that second slot.
Well, and here's my thought. When you're in a postseason setting now, and you don't have to worry about 3-4 weeks down the road, you have to just win today. That's what the playoffs are all about, win today. I think with the flexibility this team is going to have, not just for the Dodgers, but if they get past the Dodgers and go to Philadelphia, they'll have this flexibility in the Philly series as well. It's the fact that Hunter Green and Andrew Abbott, I think, are your only 2 guys that are locked into that starting rotation. Nick Lodolo, you can have a very short leash on Nick Lodolo. You can have a very short leash on Zach Littell. You can stack Singer and Littell, Singer and Martinez, Singer and Lodolo, however you want to do it, where they only have to face the order one time through. And you can get 2 2/3 here, 3 innings here, 2 innings here, and then get to the back end of your bullpen. We don't need Singer to go 6 innings anymore. We don't need Littell to go 6 innings anymore. You're not trying to preserve anybody anymore. This is it. This is the end. The only guy that I think is guaranteed to go 6 innings in a start for the Reds is Hunter Green.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm right there with you. And here's the thing. I wouldn't want any other coach leading this team in terms of a win today mentality. Give me more of that Tito dust because, listen, this team under David Bell does not make the playoffs. We can both agree on that, correct? This team had to right their wrongs on so many different occasions throughout the season to the point where I don't think that David Bell would have been able to lead this group of guys and down the same pattern.
I think, and this is obviously from a guy that hasn't stepped foot in the clubhouse this year.
Sure, yeah.
I think that it's definitely fair to say that Terry Francona underwhelmed in terms of on-field decisions this year. But I do think, kind of to your point, what he was really good at was this team had a dozen opportunities to fall off the table and dead out for the count at different points this season. You have to have a ridiculous amount of mental toughness to keep bouncing back and keep winning 4 in a row after losing 3 and winning 5 after losing 4 and just kind of finding a way to turn the page and move on and stay in the race and stay in the hunt. Was it the flashiest, prettiest, sexiest season in Reds baseball history? Not even close. One of the ugliest seasons probably in Cincinnati Reds history. But guess what, Adam? We're one of the 12 teams still left standing. And a big part of that is because Terry Francona would not let this team die. He would keep them going. He would keep them pushing forward, keep them motivating. Did he make every decision perfectly every single day? Absolutely not. But they're still playing. They're still playing.
I want to talk about some of those decisions, some of the ones that maybe haven't gone the way we hope they would. We can start with this series in particular and then branch out on things that we've noticed really throughout the season. What was going on today as far as, Lux was at one point plus 1,400 odds to get a single against a left-handed pitcher with Miguel Andujar on deck, who has been mashing lefties all season long. Down to, it just felt like today Tito was really putting all of his eggs in the Marlins basket, not even inside his own dugout, it felt like. It was very interesting. Matt McClain, Shay, though we joked about him a little bit ago, but it seriously has been a problem because you can bury him at the bottom of the lineup and put him at 9 all you want, but the fact of the matter is he will still find a way to find at bats in high leverage points in the game with runners on base. I saw it Wednesday night in that loss to Pittsburgh against Skeens. It felt like every time Matt McClain came up to the plate, he had 2 runners in scoring position. So what do they do at second? Today, clearly it was defense first. That was the mentality in the way that lineup was structured. You had Trevino behind the dish. You had Key Brian Hayes playing third. You had McClain at second. You had Lux playing left field. Sal Stewart literally hit a home run for this team last night. He wasn't, in the starting lineup. So they prioritized defense. Do you see any of these things changing with how this offense has been?
No, probably not. I think that, I think they'll kind of look at it as what's gotten us here kind of perspective. I think that really I can live with leaving a pitcher in a little too long or taking a pitcher out a little too early or whatever. But I think the 2 things that have really disappointed me throughout the course of the season, more than anything, is I think Matt McClain needed a trip down to AAA a little bit earlier this summer. And I think that I'm hopeful that it's not a long-lasting effect, that he didn't get that chance to rebuild that confidence. So that was something I was a little disappointed with. I've been a little disappointed with his lack of usage of Tyler Stevenson down the stretch. But my most important thing, I think, is the reluctance of using Sal Stewart consistently. This guy's come up here and been one of this team's 3 or 4 best hitters since the day he made his debut. And I know Spencer Steer's a good defender at first. Play Stewart at second. Play Stewart at third. I don't care. Get that bat in the lineup because that bat leads this team in home runs since the day he made his appearance, and he's 21 years old. This kid's only going to get better if you give him at-bats. So give him at-bats.
Yep, no doubt about it. Stewart, I feel like he's been mishandled. Will Benson, throughout the course of the summer, has been seriously misused. Seriously, there should be a full-on investigation into that and as to why. It only makes it that much weirder, the fact that Tito was at one point Benson's manager in their time in Cleveland. But Benson should be in this lineup more against right-handed pitching. So Ellie should be having some rest days. Clearly the guy here in the final month and a half has been playing through something. He's just not quite the Ellie that drew us to him, his lightning speed and all this stuff. It isn't all the way there. It's still, there's still a really good foundation, but we've seen him kind of regress a little bit here over the last couple of weeks. So I think even mishandling the use of Ellie De La Cruz, he should have had maybe an extra rest day or 2 in August or early September that would have allowed for him to have a more cleaner final push for this playoff spot.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think to sum up Ellie's season is kind of like it's been good, but you kind of expected maybe another step. But I will say, like I kind of talked about earlier, the last 5-6 games or so, he's gone back to that leg kick that he had early in the season. And he's since then hit a couple doubles, hit a home run today that was absolutely crushed. I don't even know what Jackson Choria jumped for. That thing was out of the park by 50 feet. But I think that it's encouraging. No, I don't think you're going to see Ellie steal 12 bases in the playoffs. He wants to boot a ball here and there at shortstop. But this team's going to get knocked out by the Dodgers, Adam, unless Ellie De La Cruz is capable of making plays with his bat. And in the last week, it seems like maybe he's starting to come along with making plays with his bat.
And I want him to make plays with his legs, too. I mean, we've seen him do it several times. We've seen them do it. I mean, last night, they ran those bases aggressively. It led to that overthrow at third base that allowed an extra run to just sneak on in. Those kinds of plays, when you keep the pedal to the metal, are going to help drive this offense that has been struggling to finding more success because Lord knows they need all of it that they can find. Let's see here. So the Reds will be playing the Dodgers, like we've mentioned here multiple times, 9 o'clock on Tuesday night. Another game that is going to be very interesting in this playoff, in the wild card round. Red Sox, Yankees, man. I mean, it's one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports, not just baseball, but all of sports. And that's going to be a great showdown as well.
Listen, all 4 wild card series rock.
Oh, they're great.
This is 4 pretty awesome wild card series right here.
The fact that the Guardians and the Tigers are playing one another when the Guardians took their division title away, stole it from them down the stretch is incredible. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Padres, Cubs, that'll be a good one too. So, you know, it's going to be incredible. But if the Reds are able to move on, what do you make of this Phillies team now that they've lost Zach Wheeler? Because that now has a lot more meaning in Reds fans' eyes.
What's going to be tough, I think, for Cincinnati is the Reds have struggled for the most part this season against left-handed pitching. And Philly in that series is going to throw 2 lefties at you right off the bat. Christopher Sanchez, who's going to be the runner-up for the Cy Young Award, and Jesus Luzardo. They also have Aaron Nola, who's a guy with a lot of playoff innings. They have I'm trying to think who's in the back of that rotation. Taijuan Walker. So it's a good starting rotation. Their bullpen's a little shaky. They have Orion Kerkering. They signed David Robertson, who's been pretty good. Tanner Banks is probably their best lefty reliever because, as you know, Adam, one big development for the Phillies, he's been pitching the last couple weeks. But Jose Alvarado is not going to be on their playoff roster because he got suspended for PEDs. So that's their best left-handed reliever. He's not going to be there.
Yeah. If I were to compare the Phillies to any other team in the league, it's going to be the Blue Jays. They're just a team that's going to get in slugfest with their bats. So it could be an intriguing matchup. Shay, we have breaking news out of the MLB as of 1 minute ago. Have you seen this? No?
No.
Pete Alonso has announced that he will be opting out of his contract and he will become a free agent this offseason. So it didn't take long.
Man, it's a tough day for the Mets, let me tell you.
Ken Rosenthal, he posted a question, and it was, what is more embarrassing, the Tigers blowing a 15.5 game lead in the division or the Mets not making the playoffs with the highest paid roster in MLB? And I think now that it's all said and done, it's got to be the Mets. You were the number 1 salary team in the league. You should have had this playoff spot. And for that matter, the Tigers, though they lost their division title, they still made it to October. The Mets are an absolute disaster right now, and truly that's why we're here.
And I will say, Adam, the Guardians might be the team in baseball that have had the most success against Tarek Skubal, probably because they've seen him the most out of anybody. But the Tigers still have to feel pretty dang good going into a playoff series where you're going to have Skubal, Mize, and Flaherty in those 3 games. It's still going to be tough to beat 2 of those 3. I mean, so the Guardians did come back and snatch the division. It was incredible. But let me tell you, this Tigers team is built to where they could very easily take this wild card series very quickly on the ALDS.
All right, let's talk a little more Reds. I'm still just in complete and total shock that we're doing this right now, man. This is This is incredible. And the last time I did a show with you, Shay, it was the morning that I was supposed to be going to a Mets-Reds game when it felt all but over. And I go to said game. I somehow managed to partake in a pregame parade around the field.
Wow.
And and it was my first time on the field at Great American. And I'm walking around. I got Hunter Green and Tyler Stevenson right here to my immediate left, and they're playing long toss. And I walk around the field, and I hit the right field corner. And there is a Mets catcher, a Mets bullpen coach, and then a pitcher warming up. And the coach walked up to us and handed the daughter of one of our friends in our group a ball. And I looked at him and I said, "How kind of you. How kind of you. You guys aren't so bad after all." And then I said, "Good luck. Good luck I said, "Good luck in the playoffs, because Lord knows we're not going to catch you." And he just laughed really hard. And I walked away immediately thinking, what if I just jinxed this man? I just placed a curse on him.
The Mets collapse is your fault.
Well, I'm not saying entirely, but hey, I would like to say that I played my role and I did my part. All right.
You can't take full responsibility for that. Lowell Mets has been going on long before you.
Yeah. But that was the game that ultimately clinched them a playoff spot. Hunter Green went out, struck out 12 Mets in 7 innings. It was the most dominant I've ever seen him pitch in person. And that was the game that punched their ticket to the playoffs, was earning the tiebreaker over the Mets. It's crazy, but literally earlier that same weekend when the Reds fell to the Mets, their playoff chances shrunk to 1.5%. They had a 1.5% chance of making it to where they are currently standing right now, Shay. And looking at it from those lenses, it makes you think at this current point, anything is possible now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the Diamondbacks a few years back. Look at all these other small market teams that we've seen go on crazy runs. Your Kansas City Royals, even. I mean, when you get in, anything's possible. You just need to give yourself a chance by getting in to get to that point.
Got to get into the dance. Now anything can happen. Absolutely. This isn't baseball related, but we can bring some more breaking news for all the fantasy football players out there. Lamar Jackson out of the game with a hamstring injury.
Oh no.
Cooper Rush, the new quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens.
Wow. So there's a chance that Joe Flacco or Aaron Rodgers are about to be the best quarterbacks in the AFC North. That's crazy.
What a world we live in.
But hey, the Reds are in the playoffs. We're good.
That's right.
Oh man. Shay, your biggest impact players over the course of this stretch to help get this team into where they're at now. I'm going to start first. We can alternate. Tony Santion has got to be at the top of that list. Absolutely remarkable down the stretch out of the bullpen. Who do you got?
I'll stay in the bullpen. Connor Phillips, a dude that last spring was in the Arizona Arizona team complex trying to save his career when he had an 8 ERA in AAA. He made the move to the bullpen. His fastball is electric. His sweeper is disgusting. And listen, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that Connor Phillips is this team's closer next year.
It's looking like it. It is looking like it. Are you watching the post-game show right now by chance as well in the background? They just put the Reds clinched graphic on that ginormous screen out in center field at the Brewers Stadium, and our team right now, the Cincinnati Reds, are on their field partying with cigars and bottles and posing for pictures on their field. That's awesome.
Right. That's right.
Has the curse against Milwaukee been lifted after this series win?
I think I need to see 2 series wins in a row before I say that the curse is over. But this was a really nice step in the right direction because I think with the way the last 5 years have gone against the Brewers, and with this team missing the playoffs the last couple of years, they could have very easily walked into Milwaukee this week and gotten destroyed, and it wouldn't have surprised me. So the fact that they dug their heels deep, won 2 out of 3, were the Brewers absolutely playing 100% their best? No, but it's a step in the right direction. Now, the Reds meet the Brewers in the NLCS and knock them out of the playoffs. Then I'll say the curse is broken.
I was just about to say, I guess the only thing left to do is take them out in the championship series to punch our tickets.
Well, isn't that a quote from Jake Taylor in Major League? There's only one thing left to do now, Adam.
Well, win the whole darn thing. Yeah, yep. What a time to be alive, man. This is wonderful. Do you see any other? I mean, is there anything else we should talk about in terms of potential crazy shakeups with this team before this first game Tuesday night? Lineup wise, players starting over another one. Anything on your mind, Shay, before we start wrapping things up about this wild card showdown?
I just think that, at the end of the day, Hunter Green going in game 1 on Tuesday gives you a chance, because anytime Hunter Green's on the mound, Yoshinobu Yamamoto is a really, really good pitcher. And I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He's incredibly talented, probably the best pitcher on the LA Dodgers. But hey, I'm saying this as a Reds fan, so it's going to come across as biased. I think Hunter Green is better than Yoshinobu Yamamoto. So the fact that you have Hunter Green on the mound, I think he's the best pitcher on the field. You have him give you a chance to win game 1. And if you can go out there and win game 1, Adam, then all of a sudden you have the Dodgers' backs against the wall, and they have to win 2 straight games to knock out the 6th seed. So I think we're just looking at this as you've got your best pitcher on the mound against a team that you know you can beat. And the Reds, if you remember, it was a spring training game, Adam. They faced Yamamoto in spring training.
Demolished him.
And so if you score a couple runs early, and you get Hunter Green a lead, and Connor Phillips and Graham Ashcraft and Nick Martinez, they keep pitching like they have out of the bullpen, just win game 1, man. And I think all of a sudden things can get really interesting in Southern California.
I want to talk a little bit more about Terry Francona, because I'm completely subscribed to the fact that this is why we're here right now. And here's the thing: we are in year 1 of this experiment, of this 3-year experiment. We are in year 1. And at the very least, they punched their ticket into the playoffs. And Shay, with a team like this one, a team that has a lot of youth on it, not a ton of veteran presence, some, but not a ton compared to some others, I feel like to at least get this thing rolling, not even this year, but maybe next year or the year thereafter, this team first just needed to get into the playoffs, get that burden off of their back, end that streak, get in, see the big lights, feel the big moments. And I think, next year, I think we see this team take another serious jump forward.
Think about this. The Reds are probably when the betting odds come out in Vegas, the Reds are probably going to be 12th out of 12. In terms of World Series odds. They're probably going to have the worst World Series odds of any team that made the playoffs, to be completely honest with you.
Sure.
But I think they should be confident right now, because they proved this weekend they can hang with the Brewers. They just swept the Cubs. They've taken a series from the Phillies. They've taken a series from the they beat the Mets this year, who didn't make the playoffs because they beat the Mets this year. But I think that the Reds have proven I can't remember if they won a series against the Padres, but they hung with them.
Reds?
Yeah.
We did. We did we not sweep them at Great America Ballpark earlier this year?
I don't.
Or did we win 2 out of 3? I'll look it up right now. Continue.
It was an 162 game season. I lose track. But the Reds, these 5 teams in the National League that you'll see in this National League playoffs, the Reds have proven they've either beaten or been right there with all 5 of them. So they should walk into Los Angeles, California on Tuesday with the mentality, Adam, of why not us? Why not us? Because right now, yeah, the Dodgers won 10 more games than you did in the regular season, but guess what? Everybody is 0-0 when the first pitch is thrown on Tuesday afternoon.
The Reds won 2 out of 3 against the Padres in Cincinnati, and they took 2 out of 3 from the Padres in San Diego.
Well, there you go.
They won
so
the
why
season.
Why not us? That's what I'm hearing. Why not us?
They won the season series against the Cubbies this year. They swept the Phillies in Philly earlier this year. Or did they take 2 out of 3 there? That may have been.
I think it was 2 out of 3. I don't think they swept the Phillies.
Either way, I think they won the season series against them too. I mean, come on. Yeah, the writing is on the wall. This team has proven themselves against these teams that they are now going up against. And they're healthy. This team is healthy. So let's go out there, Shay, and let's see this team win a World Series ring for guys like Connor Joe, for guys like Jeimer Candelario, for our sweet prince, our opening day closer, Ian Jabot.
I'll make an exception. I know he wasn't on the team this year, but if we win the World Series, I want Nick Martini to get a ring too.
Nick Martini should get a ring, yes. Even though he wasn't on the team this year, he was with them last year. Nick Martini should have a big old ring.
Shaken, not stirred, baby. Nick Martini.
Shaken, not stirred. Yeah, I mean, those 2 opening day home runs last season are more than worthy of giving him a World Series ring for the following season.
That's right.
Gosh, I love this.
Put him in the Reds Hall of Fame while we're at it.
Yeah.
Next statue outside of GABP, Nick Martini.
All right, let's go through predictions for the first round of the playoffs. All right.
Okay.
First series, you've got Tigers, Guardians, and all of these are, of course, are best 2 out of 3.
You might think I'm crazy because this is in Cleveland and Guardians have this crazy time comeback to win the division. I'm going to go Tigers in 3.
Okay.
I think Scuba wins game 1. And I think the Tigers have a better bullpen. And I think not having Clase is really going to catch up to Cleveland in the playoffs.
All right. So you think they win in 3?
Tigers in 3. Okay. It'll go 3.
I'm going to go Guards in 3. All right. Red Sox, Yankees in New York.
Sox in 3.
I'm going to say Sox in 3 too, just to appease some people that are close to me. Padres and Cubs. This is a very interesting series. I think this one could go either way, and it could either be a sweep or go all 3.
The Cubs just lost Cade Horton. He fractured a rib. I'm still not a big believer in the Cubs bullpen. And I've been a little concerned with the Cubs offense in recent weeks and the step back they've taken. I know I'm a Reds fan, and this is just going to be like, boo, he hates the Cubs. Padres in 2.
Okay. With the sweep. I will go Padres in 3. That's what I will go there.
Somebody's going to sweep somebody. So I have to say in 2 somewhere.
And then, of course, your Reds and Dodgers.
This hurts me to say, Adam. I'm going to go Dodgers in 3.
Dodgers in 3. Okay. If we make it to 3, I'm happy. What a night, Shay. September 28th. We'll continue. And this is also the first time. This is the first time, Shay, that the Cincinnati Reds, the oldest franchise in all of baseball, had their season decided in terms of clinching. This is the first time they have clinched in game 162 out of 162. It's never been done before.
Crazy.
How did we do it, man?
I think a lot of people around the world are wondering the same thing. I'll tell you what. I'm glad I'm not going to bed in Queens tonight.
Rough night to be a Mets fan. Do you think this team takes another major step forward though next year?
I hope. I got to see what they do in the offseason first. There's definitely holes on this team. There's definitely ways that this organization can get better. But that's obviously your goal, and that's what excites you about this team. Is so many pieces of this team are still so young and under contract. I mean, just off the top of my head, Noel will be back, not even in arbitration. Ellie, not even in arbitration. McLean, not even in arbitration if he can turn it around. Sal Stewart, as well as, I think there's going to be other prospects that are knocking on the door next year. And then on the pitching staff, Hunter Green, Andrew Abbott, Nick Lodolo, Chase Burns, Rhett Lauder, Brady Singer, Tony Santion, Connor Phillips. Let's just rattle. Big Sugar's coming back, Adam. Big Sugar will be back.
Yeah, they just showed him on the TV a few moments ago.
Listen, that guy's going to need to down a lot of beers to get far gone tonight.
It might, I was gonna say it might not be that hard for him to do that.
He might have to call up Reds legend Jumbo Diaz and get a little bit of tips.
Jumbo Diaz, what a name!
We love Jumbo, baby. Jumbo was a legend.
What a name! All right, well, hey, Shay, you hosted the show. You hosted the show before I got here, and you held you covered a playoff appearance in 2020. But I wanted you to be back here with me today to recap one in a 162 game season, because it's the first time it's happened in 12 years.
I've never had a bad time on the show, Adam, but this is definitely the most fun one I've had.
This is great, and honestly, this is the most off the script we've been. I mean.
What script? We didn't have a script.
Yeah, we didn't know how we were going to be doing this show today, regardless of the outcome of this game. So if the Reds would have lost and not made the playoffs, we would have been here in a very, very, very bad mood.
I'm glad the tears are of joy and not of sadness.
Man, it's lovely. All right, Shay, any last thoughts before we wrap this up and get well rested for Tuesday night? I'm going into hibernation for the next.
It's been a crazy season. There's been times where I thought they were dead. There's been times where I thought they were going to win 95 games. It ended up being somewhere in the middle of those two things, but we're still playing. We're one of the 12 best teams in baseball, and now everybody is 0-0, Adam. So get some sleep, celebrate tonight. Let's go to Southern California and shock the world and beat the Dodgers.
It's going to be awesome. All right. Yeah, I will be hosting another one of these live programs at the conclusion of this wild card series, assuming it does not go past Friday. But we will be talking more Reds baseball. The show goes on, they say. So, Shay, thank you for joining me here tonight. To those that have joined us and watched along the way as we get the celebration underway, thank you very much. Your 2025 Cincinnati Reds are playoff bound.
I wish I didn't have to go all the way to the kitchen to grab a beer, my friend. I'd crack one open with you.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I have to get up and take 10 steps that way. Crazy, tough life we live. All right. Take care, everybody. Thank you for joining us for this special edition of Wing Reds Weekly, the playoff edition of Wing Reds Weekly. We'll see you Tuesday night for the wild card between your Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are looking to defend their crown. We'll see you soon. Take care.